my friends. So excited to have you here today. Join me on this beautiful Sunday. It's like 97 degrees here in New Jersey. So, today is going to be a very powerful mindset shift. But let me first tell you a story. 2023, so 2 years ago, I am in Estonia attending Mind Valley University. And guess who I get to meet? I get to meet this absolutely brilliant Linda Clements. She goes on stage, and this woman, she's just so charismatic, magnetic. She is a non-verbal communication expert. She has worked with FBI, so they will literally hire her and say, hey, can you see if this witness is telling the truth? Like crazy stuff. So she's on stage, and what she said was so powerful, and it just resonated with me so deeply. She said, are you with me? Why do you let negative thoughts live in your mind rent-free? She's like, right now, I want you to send them an eviction notice. You are out. So I'm going to say something very powerful. And if you're multitasking, come back to me. So are you with me? Drop 2 in the comments if you are with me. You are not responsible for the first thought. It can be conditioning. It can be old stories that you're just used to, telling yourself. But you are 100% responsible for the second thought you choose on purpose. First, let me tell you a story. And drop in the chat if you know who I'm talking about. So let me go full screen. Okay, let me go full screen with you. So, a young woman suffering from a serious depression. She lives in England, and to change her atmosphere, her surroundings, she moves to Portugal. There, she falls in love, then quickly falls out of love, and ends up being a single mom with a baby. She thought things cannot even get worse, so she moves back to her homeland in England. She collects welfare, she's unemployed. Life is so extremely excruciating hard. She's dealing with depression and imposter syndrome and anxiety, but there is this one thing that she loves doing. And when she needs to calm herself down and to get back in center and to reclaim her sanity, she picks up a pen and she starts writing. So she wrote the first chapter, the second chapter. By the way, let me know in the comments if you know who I'm talking about. And she's like, what the heck? I'm just gonna send few chapters of my manuscript to a publisher. She sends it to one publisher, crickets. Nobody even replies to her. Finally, after like 12 publishers, the 13th publisher says it's not gonna work. It is so bad, but I'll put it in print. But make sure that you have a job, because your copy is so bad, it will never, ever make you any money. Okay, let me see the chat. Who knows? Who am I talking about? J.K. Rowling. And that manuscript she sent was Harry Potter. She actually became the first billionaire from writing a fiction book. But she first had to hear 12 rejections from publishers. What about Oprah? Do you know that she was fired from her first TV anchor job because she was told she was unfit for television? Do you think she gave up? No. What about Michael Jordan? Do you know that he was cut from his high school varsity team? What about Walt Disney? When every single investor and a banker told him that your mouse idea is just not marketable. So what is in common between all these people, J.K. Rowling, Walt Disney, Oprah? What is one theme that is a commonality? They did not take no for an answer. They did not dwell on that negative thought, on the rejections, on no's, and they kept going because they chose a better thought to believe in. So, what are you choosing to believe in today? Because you are not your fear. You are not your rejection, and you're definitely not your little voice that tells you that, oh, I cannot do this. I'm not qualified. Who am I to homeschool my kid? I don't have a degree in early childhood education. I'm seeing some beautiful faces here. So what thought are you choosing? Because remember, you're not responsible for the first thought, but you are 100% responsible for the second one you choose on purpose. So if this is resonating with you, you can comment reclaim, and I will immediately, oh, not me, it's a bot that's doing all the behind the scenes. You'll get a link in your DMs to listen to my podcast episode where I talk about negative thoughts. Did you know that it takes 4 seconds, so type 4 in a chat, 4 seconds for a negative thought to take root. 4 seconds. And it takes only 30 seconds for that negative thought to completely hijack your entire nervous system. So from a parasympathetic state, you go into sympathetic fight or flight. Your heart is racing, you start sweating. But once we realize that we are the one who are giving the meaning to the thoughts we choose to embrace. So that's why as a cover, let me share with you. It's not here. Okay, it's here. For the cover of my podcast episodes, here, I'll make it big. And now you'll know why I have a chair, a couch, and an eviction notice. So who's going to send out an eviction notice to all the negative thoughts who are literally living in your mind rent-free? You can literally say, you can open the door, say, okay, this way. I'll give you one more powerful exercise before I'm going to end this with you today. I have to pick up Julia from the mall, so I have to be on time. Think of your thoughts as waves. So just imagine with me, close your eyes if you can, unless you're driving, then don't close your eyes. And imagine you are standing on the shore of the ocean and you see the ocean, the waves are passing by. So the waves are neutral. Those waves are our thoughts. Which wave are you going to decide to ride on? Which wave are you going to surf and take it all the way to the shore? A limiting belief? Something that we have been told by, I don't know, teachers, parents, preachers, that forms our core identity ego that is based in fear and not on who we truly are? Because you are not what somebody told you in third grade. If you are slow or not smart enough or not thin enough, not tall enough. But subconsciously, we form our ego identity. And I differentiate ego from you, your truly beautiful, sparkling soul, which is not your ego. Because your ego is based on condition. It is based on fear. It is based on what you had went through in your life or what somebody had told you. That is what forms your ego. But your true, beautiful soul is not conditioned upon who said what. So when those debilitating thoughts, when those limiting beliefs are creeping in your mind, I want you to say, I want you to, one, acknowledge it and don't judge it. We're not here to judge. Again, those are thoughts based on some preconditioned experience, story, childhood trauma, who knows, we're all dealing with that. But I want you to pick the next thought on purpose and choose the powerful one. And then, and this is important, make a 1% shift. So make that thought 1% more true, 1% more beautiful, 1% more powerful, and follow it with the action, because thought is cheap, right? Follow it with the action. So I'm going to give you 3 examples. If you hear that little voice that I'm hoping you're sending that eviction notice to, saying, oh, I'm a procrastinator, you're going to prove it wrong with action. So as soon as you hear that thought, open your calendar, see what's on your to-do list, and do something right now. That's it. You just shut the door, you just demolish that debilitating thought that says you're a procrastinator because you proved the opposite. If you say, I'm disorganized, I'm going to bring back your comments. Open one drawer and organize it. You just proved that thought wrong. And you see, action speaks louder than words. That's why whenever you hear that little voice, that remember, it is not you. You are not that little voice in your head. And once you realize that, and once you can distinguish that little voice, that fear-based ego that is meant to keep you in this safe zone, because, why? Because something that's safe is familiar. Your brain does not want change. We want familiarity because familiarity means safety. Let's say you say, I'm lazy. Try tomorrow. The second you hear that alarm, don't snooze it. Get up anyway. You have to get up eventually, right? Why not get up when you hear the alarm? That little mind shift, that little proof with your action that you're not lazy will rewire your entire nervous system. And remember, repetition is the mother of skill. So the more you practice, the better you will become. Just like your muscles get stronger, right? The more you, I don't know, if you work out, if you go to the gym, if you do squatting, or your endurance gets on a rise if you committed to, let's say, running every other day. I run rain or shine. Today was literally 97 degrees and I did my 5K run. So I run 5K every other day. And my neighborhood is pretty hilly. So I run around the golf course. And those hills, they're big. But with the action, you declare to your identity. My identity, I'm an athlete. I run rain or shine. I run if it's thundering. I ran in 2 feet snow. Luckily, they just plowed, but nothing stops me because my identity, I'm an athlete. It's hard, but I know it's good for me. It's good for cardiovascular health. It makes me insanely happy. If you are a runner, let me know in the comments. Would love to know. Do you have this like, it's called euphorical happiness, almost like you're on some like crazy dopamine on some drugs? That's how marathon runners are addicted to runners because your body releases all these dopamines and all these like happy hormones. Okay, we had a little detour with the run. The point is, if your mind is whispering, and if what it is whispering, you know, is fear-based, or it is something that you carried with you along the way, either from your childhood, or from society, or from religious environment, ask yourself, is it coming out of fear or does it come out of love? Because as Neil Donald Walsh said, every single action, it's very simple. It's either fear-based or love-based. So if the thought is not serving you, tell yourself, repeat after me. You are not responsible for the initial thought, but you are 100% responsible for the next one. So choose on purpose. Okay, my sweet friend, I'm going to leave you with this today. It was a pleasure. I am right on time. I have to run out to pick up my daughter. She's at the mall with her friend. So make sure to comment reclaim if you would like to dwell deeper into details. And I will see you next week.